The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Yes, guys, we're wrapping up my series of Spider-Man reviews. Link up to Spider-Man Homecoming, which I'm hearing is the best Spider-Man movie since Spider-Man 2. That is great to hear. Now let's get started by reviewing what most people say is the worst Spider-Man movie in the Spider-Man film legacy, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Just like in my other Spider-Man reviews, this is a collaboration with my good friends Parker and Josh, who are collaborating with me once again to review Amazing Spider-Man 2. Now before I start my review of The Amazing Spider-Man 2, I would just like to say this. We live in a world where we have different opinions. We're not going to have the same viewpoint on any movie, music, song, video game, book, whatever. We have different opinions on certain topics. And with The Amazing Spider-Man 2, I feel that this is one of those movies where it is cool to hate it. Like, people just hate this movie to death. People just love to rip it to shreds. Everywhere I go, I see so many rants, videos of just people tearing this movie apart. And like I said, if you like the movie, it's cool. If you hate the movie, it's cool. Like I said, we live in a world where we have different opinions on certain topics, and we're not gonna have the same viewpoint on everything. We're not gonna agree and disagree on everything. With The Amazing Spider-Man 2, I was anticipating the heck out of this movie. I was seeing all the trailers and marketing, posters and stuff too. See a lot of interviews from Mark Webb, Andrew Garfield, Emma Stone, and Jamie Foxx, everybody. I was so excited to see this movie back in 2014. I even still have the poster that had from the Amazing Spider-Man 2 notice of fighting about to fight the Green Goblin, Electro, and Rhino. That poster is definitely one of my favorite comic book movie posters of all time. Hands down. I was anticipating the heck out of this movie, and The Amazing Spider-Man 2 was also one of those movies where I saw this movie in theaters before I even see any review, see any film review video. I didn't look at the Rotten Tomato score or the IMDb score. So I saw The Amazing Spider-Man 2 back in 2014. I saw the movie Saturday afternoon, May 3rd, 2014, and I walked out of the movie. I loved it. And then I looked online to see all the reviews of this movie. I was completely shocked for how many people that did not like this movie at all. I mean, this movie was one of those movies where everybody was just crapping on it so much. Saying, oh, it was bad. It was too much this, and that. I was like, it's not. They said it was worse than Spider-Man 3. I'm like, no, it's not worse than Spider-Man 3. Then, or did my review, if you guys followed me from the beginning, you guys know if you see my old review of The Amazing Spider-Man 2 saying, I love this movie, best Spider-Man movie ever, yeah, one of the best movies of the year. Yeah, I said that in my old review. And then, I rewatched The Amazing Spider-Man 2 the other night to build up my Spider-Man Homecoming review leading up to Homecoming. That's why I watched the movie last night, and you know what? I still don't get the hate. Yeah, I still don't get the hate for this movie. I still personally really do love this movie. I do. Before anybody attack me with their crazy hate emails, I will have to say that this movie is not perfect. This is not a perfect movie at all. I do have issues with this movie, but the issues in this movie doesn't really hurt the movie in my opinion. I thought the issues in this movie thought it would have improved the movie a little bit more. Now, with all that being said, let's get started with this review of The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I can see the hate comments right now. Now, I will admit, I do really like the opening scene of this movie. I was very intrigued by it, even when I first saw this movie back in theaters. I was like, okay, it's starting out very good, that he starts fighting the guy, and it went on to the plane crash. And then I thought it showed how his parents died. I thought that part of this movie, showed how his parents died. I thought that was much needed. I thought that was very good. We finally get to see Spider-Man in his brand new costume. And you know what, guys? I just love Spider-Man's costume in this movie. This is actually my favorite pre-MCU incarnation of Spider-Man film costume. Because it looks like Spider-Man straight out of the comic book. I mean, oh my god, it was great. This whole opening sequence was great. How he is swinging around the city in New York. When Spider-Man swings around in this movie, it feels like you're swinging along with him. I mean, that was so great cinematography with the swinging effect in this movie. Yeah, we finally get to see the Rhino played by Paul Giamatti, Alexis Savage. And I don't really get the hatred when it comes to the Rhino saying, oh, he's too goofy, too this, and that. Rhino was goofy in the comics, people. And when Spider-Man was joking off to the Rhino saying, hey, my name is Spider-Man, when you call me Webhead, you call me Amazing, but don't call me late for dinner, get it? That is Spider-Man. When he's joking around with Rhino, that felt like that was Spider-Man. I mean, this whole sequence was just very fun. We see Max Dillon, played by Jamie Foxx, and we see Gwen Stacy calling Peter, telling he's late for graduation ceremony, and people say this movie is convoluted. It's one of those movies that's not really convoluted in my opinion, but I can easily follow through the story. Like this opening scene, I thought was a very fun opening sequence. Spider-Man takes the plutonium away from Rhino, and he embarrasses him by taking his pants down. You see his Rhino boxer, and he whistles the Spider-Man theme song. That was very funny. And Peter started seeing visions of Captain Stacy, because he broke his promise at the end of the first Amazing Spider-Man that he's supposed to stay away from Gwen. And him and Gwen called it off. They broke up, because in this movie, the relationship between Peter and Gwen are kind of like off and off. Like, one scene they're friends, one thing they to get back together, one scene they called it off. I thought that was very cool to this movie, how they had that in the beginning of this movie. They broke up for like a good half of the movie. I thought that was very good. And even the haters of this movie have to admit that the relationship between Peter and Gwen in this movie and in the first Amazing Spider-Man is so freaking great. Like, these two spark. Every time I see these two together, I'm like, they're perfect for each other. There'd be the dialogue between these two, and the romantic chemistry is so freaking great. And Mark Webb does a really good job of doing that, because he directed 500 Days of Summer, one of my favorite romantic comedy movies of all time, and he has the romance in this movie between Peter and Gwen, and it works very well. Like, the romance between Peter and Gwen is definitely one of the best parts about the two Amazing Spider-Man movies, and I thought that it was way better than Peter and MJ in the Raimi trilogy. Just saying. You love the sequence of Spider-Man saving everybody from New York City. I thought that was a very fun sequence. It was very Spider-Man-like. And when he saves the boy from being beat up by destroying his wind turbine, that scene is Spider-Man, where he just webs it up and it's all good. That scene is Spider-Man right there. Like I said, people hate this movie so much, but I thought that they got the perfect Spider-Man. Andrew Garfield played the character very well in this movie. So it's kind of like, make me question, like, why do people hate this movie so much? Now, let me talk about Jamie Foxx as Max Dillon. I honestly don't mind him as Max Dillon in this movie. Yes, he's a bit cartoony and a bit wacky in his movie with big nerf-wearing glasses and his Jerry Lewis type of hairstyle in his movie. And he works for Oscorp, and all he wanted was to be needed. He wanted to be noticed. He's considered to be a loser. I thought, yeah, that's less cliche and too repetitive, but what his character is, to be honest with you, I thought that he was a pretty decent character in his movie. Like, I didn't mind his performance, and he played the role of the loser very well. And when he becomes Electro, when he falls into the bat of electric eels, and then he finally becomes Electro, I thought that his makeup looked very good, like, or CGI or whatever. He looked very good. It looked very intimidating. It looked closer to Electro for the Ultimate Spider-Man comic and the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon. He looked very good. I'm not expecting Electro to look something like this. Something from the original Spider-Man comics. I wasn't expecting him to look like that. Something very, like, almost terrifying looking, almost intimidating looking. I thought that look for Electro in this movie, that look was very good. I was pleased with that look of Electro. I thought Electro's performance, Jamie Foxx's performance as Electro, was very spot on too. Like that, when that scene when he's with the doctor saying, "So everybody in this world will know how I feel to live in a world without power, without mercy, without Spider-Man." It may be a little bit over the top, but for me, I thought that was very good. I'm not expecting every comic book movie villain to be a Joker from the Dark Knight or a very serious, very sinister comic book villain. Just give me like a good, somewhat entertaining comic book villain. Not on the lines of Mr. Freeze from Batman and Robin. Not that, no. Max Dillon was also an obsessive Spider-Man fan, and that right there, what people thought Batman Forever with Edward Nygma, who was an obsessive Batman fan and turned evil. I thought Max Dillon being an obsessive Spider-Man fan was great in the movie because when he becomes Electro, when he sees Spider-Man at Times Square, by the way, this is my favorite scene in this entire film. The Times Square scene when Spider-Man and Electro are confronting each other. That's when Spider-Man says, "Oh, I recognize you. What happened? What happened?" That's when he's out, "No, I just want everybody to see me." Then the sniper shot him. That's when all the cameras in Times Square have to turn on the Spider-Man, and then Electro thinks that Spider-Man turned on him, and now he's getting all the notoriety instead of him now too. Everybody's calling him all freak, ugly, stupid freak. That's when Electro starts to feel like he betrayed him and he lied to him. And I thought that was a very good scene because now Electro felt that one of his favorite heroes turned on him, that's when he turned on Spider-Man because a villain. I thought for that motivation, it's not really too terrible. I thought that was very good for some of our character like Electro in this movie. Also, like I said, the Times Square scene is my favorite scene in this movie because you also have the little dubstep Hans Zimmer's theme in the background playing called My Enemy. That's all like think it's like on Electro's hair. It was like got the story about the boy, about the boy, the boy lied to me, he shot at me, my enemy, that's Spider-Man, he is my enemy. Blah, 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 blah. I have that song saved to my phone, by the way. I really do like that dubstep theme. But yeah, the Times Square scene was very fun because now Electro to shock the whole ground. Spider-Man flips over. That's when his one web shooter goes out because when he tried to catch Electro from shooting at the sniper, Electro just went out to Spider-Man's web and broke his web shooter. So that's when Spider-Man has one web shooter that's not working. Then you see all the people touching the rails and the steps, and they're about to touch the electric. That's when Spider-Man hold down his web shooter and he squeezed down in the middle. That's what caused like two webs and saved the car for the old man, saved some other people from Times Square. I thought that scene was very fun. That is very fun. Looks like something straight out of the comics. But I will admit, this line said by Electro is pretty bad.
It's my birthday. Now it's time for me to light my candles.
That line was something like out of a Schumacher Batman movie. Now let's talk about Harry Osborn in this movie, played by Dane DeHaan. I really do like Harry Osborn. Dane DeHaan gets a great performance in this movie. I thought his performance was very good. I actually like this Harry Osborn more than I did James Franco in the original trilogy because I honestly thought that this Harry Osborn, because we saw more of the rich side of him since, like he said, Norman Osborn took him out the boarding school, fed him scotch, everything, and he's like now the found leader of Oscorp. I thought this Harry Osborn, this was like a great betrayal of what we see differently in the Raimi trilogy. I thought like people say like, oh, like his friendship relationship between Peter Parker and Rush and stuff too, wasn't really all developed. That scene when they were talking to each other in the Oscorp mansion or whatever, I thought that when they first started talking, like they finally reunited, I thought that scene felt like they were friends years ago. You don't really have to see like scenes when they were kids or nothing too. I thought that scene of dialogue between the two and when they were walking around in New York City, I thought that was very good. Like, I thought they had a friendship there too. And Harry Osborn is dying because of his father, Norman Osborn, of course, is dying from this Goblin disease that he had years ago, and it's passed down to Harry Osborn. I guess that since Norman Osborn, and people complain about this too, like, why did the disease is making Harry Osborn dying faster than Norman Osborn slower? I think because since Norman Osborn is older and he's a father, this is going slower for him, and since Harry Osborn is younger and he's a son, I think it's going faster for him because like I said, he's the son, and that's why I think he had no time because he's dying, and he needs Spider-Man's blood in this movie, but Peter Parker's like, no, it might kill you, but I thought that scene too with Spider-Man, people complain too much about this movie, that Spider-Man refuses to give his blood to Harry Osborn because he thinks that it might kill him even more. I thought that scene, people complain about it too much, but I thought that I could see where Spider-Man's coming from, that it might kill you even more, because he was very protective of his friend, Harry Osborn, and to be honest with you, I defend that scene to this day. Like, I thought that scene was very good, but since Harry Osborn is dying, and he teams up with Electro at the end, in order to save his life, and then towards the end of the movie, he becomes the Green Goblin. To be completely honest with you, I like Dane DeHaan's performance as the Green Goblin more than I did Willem Dafoe's in the first Spider-Man movie. And here is why. I thought Willem Dafoe in the first Spider-Man movie, his performance was very good, but he was really over the top until the warehouse fight scene where he was fighting Spider-Man. I thought that scene was the Green Goblin. That scene was very dark and very creepy. Dane DeHaan, especially his voice and his appearance, because A lot of people make fun of his look. They say he looks like he has face herpes and stuff too, or he looks like Evil Ed from Fright Night. Honestly, I really do like his design in this movie. Like, when it comes to live action Green Goblin, this was something that I was expecting for the Green Goblin to look. Something like from the Ultimate Spider-Man comics or the Ultimate Spider-Man cartoon, where he looks very creepy and almost like a goblin, like a look that he has in this movie. And I thought his voice was very good too. He's very creepy voice, and his transformation scene. My God, this scene scared the crap out of me when I saw this movie in theaters in IMAX. Because this movie looks very good in IMAX too, 3D. But the transformation scene where he's ripped out his shirt and all the veins and the nails coming out of the teeth and stuff too. It was very good. I thought the transformation scene was very creepy, and I thought the Green Goblin in this movie, Ding Han, was very creepy too. And when people say this movie has an overabundance of villains, that there's too many villains in this movie, here's the reason why I disagree with that. Okay, Spider-Man 3, Sandman, New Goblin, and Venom, both motivations have come from completely different places. Like, they both had different motivations on why they want to take down Spider-Man. While in this movie, I thought their motivation was more clear for both Harry Osborn and Electro, since they both come from Oscorp, and they both got turned down by Spider-Man, which makes them want to take down Spider-Man, want to kill Spider-Man, because they thought Spider-Man to have betrayed them. And I thought that made the villains overabundance topic is completely, I just completely disagree with that. Cause I thought the motivation for the villains in this movie was very clear, and I don't think it's overabundance of villains. I mean, Rhino's only in the movie for like 5 minutes total, and it's the Rhino, so having people saying there's an overabundance of villains is very silly in this movie. Because it's Electro and Green Goblin. Those aren't, even though the Green Goblin was only for 2 minutes, so Electro is basically the main villain. Spider-Man 3, I'm not sure who the main villain was in that movie, but I'm not gonna get back to that piece of crap again. I hate Spider-Man 3, by the way. But I will have to admit this: the Sinister Six setup is wasted, and it feels pointless now. And this comes from a guy who loves this movie. Like, I do love this movie, don't get me wrong, but I do have issues with the movie. And the Sinister Six setup is wasted, and this feels very pointless now since the franchise is done and dead, buried in the ground. And no Amazing Spider-Man 3, which I wish there was an Amazing Spider-Man 3, but now since Spider-Man's back in Marvel, we got Homecoming, so yeah, that's a good and a bad thing. And the Sinister Six setup, we see Vulture's wings and Dr. Octopus tentacles. And I thought that the Sinister Six setup was cool when I first saw this movie at theaters. Like, oh crap, an all-villain movie. Oh yeah, that's gonna be cool. But no, this franchise is done now, and this movie didn't do all that well at the box office, so it sucks that we're not going to see this now. Since they were setting this up in this movie and got me excited, then now it sucks that that's not going to happen. For a guy who loved this movie, if Sony did not put their little fingerprints onto this film, if they did not interfere with this movie would have got a whole lot of better reviews. We would have gotten Amazing Spider-Man 3. We would have gotten a Sinister Six movie. We would have gotten a Black Cat or Solo movie or whatever. We would have got so many other movies that they were setting up for the Spider-Man cinematic universe that Sony was setting up. But since this movie got a whole lot of bad reviews from critics and fans alike, and didn't do all that great in the box office, this movie sort of messed that up for Sony. And to see what Aunt May and Peter are talking about Peter's parents or why they disappeared for him, and Aunt May gets him to talk, I've kind of figured that Aunt May kind of knows that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, since she went into his room and see all the stuff on his walls and stuff too. I'm like, Aunt May should know Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And Sally Field in this scene, this is honestly one of her best performance in any movie that she's been in. Like, this scene was so freaking great. Like, I will say this scene was kind of Oscar-worthy in my opinion. Yep, I said it. I thought it was very interesting that Peter finds these coins that was hidden in his calculator that leads to the Roosevelt train, that had the computer, and had a clip that had his father telling why he left, and why he left before Oscorp and stuff too. I thought that scene was very interesting. I know people crap on the scene saying, oh, it doesn't make sense, I wanted to take a risk or something too, even though it is sound a little like, what? But for me, for how they paid it off in this movie, I thought, okay. Now, the final battle between Spider-Man and Electro, I think is very cool. I remember seeing this movie in theaters in IMAX 3D. I was like, oh my god, this was going to the movies as Force. It's slow-mo, fast-mo, Spider-Man just swinging everywhere, he's throwing stuff at Electro to have an electric shock, and Spider-Man, it was so freaking cool, and the slow-mo, fast-mo scene that they showed so many times in the trailer, I thought that was very cool, especially it looked so fantastic in 3D. It actually popped out on the screen in 3D. I was like, oh my god, that's actually a good 3D. And Electro played the Itsy Bitsy Spider song, which I thought that was like, that was very hilarious.
I hate this song!
Gwen Stacy comes in and people complain about this scene, but I defend this scene for a few reasons because Spider-Man is about to be nuked by Electro. Number two, there was nothing else to kill Electro in that scene, so Gwen Stacy came in at a perfect time to crash into Electro, and Spider-Man tells him what to do to kill Electro, to take him down. And I thought that scene was very supportive of Gwen Stacy when she goes into the little room and she just pulled like the lever thing or whatever, and Spider-Man just webs up and she tells her to pull it now, do it, and Electro just blows up. So I thought Gwen Stacy right there, that shows her supportive side of Peter Parker, instead of just her just not doing nothing. Spider-Man, he would have just literally died right there. If Gwen Stacy did not come in, Spider-Man would have been killed. There. I have to defend the whole, it's my decision, no one makes my own decision scene that Gwen Stacy says in this movie, and people didn't like that. Well, like I said, if she didn't come in, Spider-Man would have been dead, and I just love how Gwen Stacy is just a strong, capable woman that she helped Spider-Man take down Electro. So there, like I said, if she came in there, Spider-Man would have been nuked and dead. We'll admit that whole plane thing, where the two planes about to crash, I will admit, that would have been easily cut out. Of course, Green Goblin comes in and captures Gwen Stacy. He drops her. Spider-Man and Green Goblin get into a fight, and Spider-Man holds on to Gwen Stacy while he's fighting off the Green Goblin. And I know it's very predictable what was going to happen, that Gwen Stacy was eventually going to die. Of course, the Green Goblin's there. He's holding on to Gwen Stacy in the clock tower. And of course, Gwen Stacy dies. And you know something? I'm going to say right here, I cried at this scene. When I first saw this movie in theaters, I cried because I just felt for the two characters so much, their relationship, their bonding, and their love, very passionate for each other, that when Gwen Stacy dies, it's heartbreaking for me. I know, they spoiled it in the trailers, where you see Gwen Stacy's falling, and they showed a lot of set photos of Gwen Stacy, and her outfit is similar to the outfit that Gwen Stacy had in the comics, and the night Gwen Stacy died, when Green Goblin dropped her over the bridge. I know that, but the way that it came off, my heart broke. My heart literally broke, and because I fell for these two so much, that seeing her die really hurt me. Because I really do love Emma Stone as Gwen Stacy, and Green Goblin, like I said, of course he's there. You know, Green Goblin killed Gwen Stacy in the comics, and like I said, the fight was so intense because you see Spider-Man fighting Green Goblin. He's holding Gwen Stacy. That in a way got me on the edge of my seat, even though it was a little bit predictable. But you know, that's just me, that's my opinion. Now, the mystery man at the end of the Amazing Spider-Man comes to Harry at Ravencroft, and they talk about setting up the Sinister Six, building everybody up so they escape. Alexis Xavier's the Rhino out of jail, and the Rhino comes in a big tech suit, and I just, honestly, I don't care what anybody else said, I really don't. The Rhino in the big tech suit was so freaking great. Oh, he's too silly, too ridiculous. Yeah, and then Spider-Man comes out of a huge break from being Spider-Man for a couple of months after Gwen Stacy died, and the little boy that he helped with his wind turbine comes in dressed as Spider-Man, comes up to the Rhino, and Spider-Man just comes in and just tells him that you're brave, so but get out of here. That's when Spider-Man knocks over Rhino with the sewer, then movie's over. And to be honest with you, I honestly really do like that ending because that ending would have been like a to-be continued type of ending. I know people say, oh, it was in the trailer and stuff that too. Like, guys, just shut up. Just shut up. I don't care. This movie, I love this movie. I don't get the hate. I really don't. And I meant what I said right there, because I really do love this movie. It's not perfect, but it could have been improved. It could have been improved when it comes to the script, and Sony didn't have to interfere with this movie. It would have been a whole lot better, and critics would have loved it, fans would have loved it too, and we would have gotten Amazing Spider-Man 3 and Sinister Six and so many others if this movie didn't try so hard to set up a cinematic universe. And I did feel that this movie, inside that this is like the perfect Spider-Man movie. You got the perfect Spider-Man actor, got so many villains I want to see, like Electro and a Rhino with love interest. This movie has all I wanted. That's why I love the movie so much. But I will admit this though. I'm kind of glad that they cut Mary Jane out of this movie, even though I would have loved to see Shailene Woodley in this movie. It would have been too convoluted as it would have had Mary Jane in this movie. It would have been a whole lot of, it would have been another Spider-Man 3 with another love triangle. So, yeah, I'm glad that they cut Mary Jane out of this movie, but Shailene Woodley would have been fantastic as Mary Jane. I felt like they wasted Felicity Jones in this movie because she was set up to be the Black Cat in these future movies, so I felt they wasted her. And I'm glad that they had a deleted scene up there of where Peter's father is actually alive. I watched the deleted scene and I was like, huh? Because it confused me a little bit. Cause I was like, what? How did you, what? So I'm glad they cut that scene out of this movie because it would have took me way out of this movie. Yeah, I would have liked the movie a whole lot less. But other than that, I love this movie. And I don't care what you guys gotta say about me in the comment section saying, oh, you're a Mark Webb fanboy, or you don't know crap about Spider-Man, and you love this movie because you're a Spider-Man fanboy, you don't know nothing but crap about Spider-Man. I don't care, guys. I just don't care. I don't care anymore. If I like the movie, I like the movie. I hate the movie, I hate the movie. This, I love the film. And that is that. Discussion over. Okay, people? You're good with that? Okay? Okay, good. I'm gonna give The Amazing Spider-Man 2 an A-. Yes, that is my honest grade. Crazy, right? Anyways, guys, like I said before, this is my final collaboration of Spider-Man reviews with my good friends Parker and Josh, who I actually would like to share their thoughts on The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Josh loved the film, just like I do. He's a fan of the film. Parker thinks it's a mixed bag, but without further ado, I will show you guys their thoughts on The Amazing Spider-Man 2.
So, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the second and final film in the Amazing Spider-Man series. And the plot of Okay, before I get into the plot, I should say I was anticipated to see this movie back in 2014, and I didn't get to see it until last year, 2015, when I saw it on cable. And boy, was it worth it waiting that long? Let's find out. The plot is, he's confident in his powers, Spider-Man. Peter Parker embraces his new role as a hero and spends time with Gwen Stacy in between protecting New York City from criminals. However, his greatest battle is about to begin with the emergence of Electro. Peter must confront an enemy far more powerful than he is, and when his old friend Harry Osborn returns, Peter comes to realize that all his enemies, including Rhino, has one thing in common: Oscorp. So, what I think of The Amazing Spider-Man 2? You know what? As much as it hurts to admit, this movie is better than Amazing Spider-Man 1. But I'm gonna say right now that this movie will not touch Spider-Man 2 from 2004. Because the 2004 sequel to 2002 movie is better than this. Now let's start off with the good. Andrew Garfield returns as Peter Parker, Spider-Man. He's cool. He's awesome. Emma Stone is great as Gwen Stacy. I buy their relationship, but I buy Toby and Kirsten's relationship in the Sam Raimi trilogy. You also have Colm Feore in here. Sally Field returns. Emmett Davis, Campbell Scott is in here as the parents. Paul Giamatti is a Rhino. He's awesome with what he's given. I will get to Rhino in a minute when I do the bad. Jamie Foxx is amazing as Electro. And people say he looks like Dr. Manhattan. No, he doesn't. I do see similarities, but the Electro, that's how you do Electro on screen. That he looks great. Sadly, the only actor I think struggled in this film was Dane DeHaan. I liked him in Chronicle. I seen Chronicle. I liked that movie. it's not, I'm not saying he was horrible, but he was good as Harry Osborn, but he's pretty over the top as Green Goblin. They don't call him Green Goblin, they call him Harry throughout the whole film. Now, all the acting is good except for Dane DeHaan. The music is awesome. I love the music by Hans Zimmer, Pharrell Williams, and The Magnificent Six, Johnny Marr, Junkie XL, Mike Einziger. Yeah, Junkie XL, he also had a hand in the score with The Magnificent Six. I love the song at the end of the film. It's On Again by Alicia Keys featuring Kendrick Lamar. I even have the song. This movie is very expensive, at a budget of $200 to $293 million, and it shows. This movie made $709 million, but it was declared a hit overseas, but this is definitely the lowest grossing film in the entire franchise. And this got mixed reviews. People saying this is just like Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man 3 handled its villains better than this movie. And it took more story in the 2007 Spider-Man 3 film than in the Amazing Spider-Man 2. The action is good. I love the action scenes. The fight between Electro and Spider-Man. I like the fight between Green Goblin and Spider-Man and everyone else. I just love the action in here. I love the first action scene at the beginning when he fights Rhino. I love the cinematography also. And I like that they made this movie have more humor and also mixed with the darker tone. But that doesn't mean this movie does not have its faults. Let's start. Okay, the Green Goblin is rushed in here. I do agree with Sean, aka Vader 2591. I'm going to give you a link to both his Spider-Man, Sam Raimi trilogy, and the Amazing Spider-Man series down below. Green Goblin was only rushed in here just to kill off Gwen. And I also wished that Shailene Woodley was supposed to play Mary Jane. And if they would have kept her scenes in this film, it would have been good. I would have been satisfied with it. But sadly, you did not. If Sony does, if they ever plan to do a director's cut of The Amazing Spider-Man 2, if Sony does, you better put Mary Jane Watson's all the deleted stuff back in this movie, darn it. I want to see Shailene Woodley as Mary Jane. But not only that, but Rhino, it sucks to see Rhino wasted like this. If the MCU Spider-Man series, if Spider-Man Homecoming does get to a second, or third, or fourth, or fifth film, you better freaking do Rhino right. You better do Rhino right. God darn it. I don't care if people don't, we already seen him before. Do him right. And the cliffhanger ending, it was cool, but I was not impressed. Because we don't get one end fight with Spider-Man and Rhino when Rhino breaks out of jail. We don't get that. It just goes straight to the credits. What the heck, Sony? It's like, this is the same problem I had with Fan Forested. You just go in there and just take stuff out. Why is that a thing with studios? Now, originally, they were going to do a Spider-Man Cinematic Universe, Sony was. They were going to do a third film and a fourth film, and Sinister Six and a Venom film. They still want to do the Venom film. But the Amazing Spider-Man series is gone now, so yeah. I'm very happy. I do, but I am also sad because I really like this series, but the Spider-Man Sam Raimi trilogy I love more. And I'm glad that Sony and Marvel worked out a deal to have him used in Civil War and for future Marvel Cinematic Universe movies. And I can't wait for Spider-Man Homecoming. Tom Holland is awesome. It's Captain America Civil War. If you want to see my review of Captain America Civil War, spoiler-free or the spoiler-filled version, or a spoiler discussion I had with YouTube friends, you can see it. You can go to my channel and you'll see it. But yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 2, I like it, but I can't deny that this movie has a lot of problems, but this is definitely better than Amazing Spider-Man 1, and I love this film. I love this movie. I love it. And I am going to have to give The Amazing Spider-Man 2, and please don't curse me out for this. I'm sorry, but hey, I'm going to give this movie Epic-tastic, my Joshua Drake Rainbow Seal of Approval. And so yeah. So let me know in the comments below what you think of Amazing Spider-Man 2. Do you like it? Do you dislike it? I know a lot of people hate it, but hey, it's your opinion. Bye.
Hey, what's up, guys? Parker here doing my Amazing Spider-Man 2 film review. Before I start, just want to say a few things. That this is the background that you'll be seeing for a long time. I finally made an assortment of what it's going to look like, as far as posters or where it's going to be at in my room, whatever. I am sitting on my bed right now. I know in a couple of other videos or whatever, there was over there on the floor, but that's the bed. I'm on the bed. Posters around me. There's the main Spider-Man 2 poster right here. The rest of it goes all the way over here. Okay, so I just want to say that this is the background you'll be seeing. Anyway, so Amazing Spider-Man 2. I know I did my rant on Amazing Spider-Man 1. Rant/review. Because that movie, there is a lot of things I like. There's a lot of things I like about the first the first Amazing Spider-Man, but there's a lot that I dislike. So I'm mixed about it. It's like a review/rant. It was like an hour-long review, and I got a shitload. Okay, look at you. Want to see all this stuff I'm gonna do? At least try as much as I can to do. Gee, I can't even speak. It's too much. Okay. You see all these freaking DVDs and shit on my bed? Yeah. Yes. Did you see that? It's like, I'm gonna do reviews for just a bunch of stuff, get all caught up, trying to get caught up, and I'm not gonna burn myself out. I swear, by the end of this, I'm gonna be passed on my bed, dying of film review disease. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, there's a lot I need to get to, but first I thought, so after this, but again, I'll upload 5 at most tonight, because I'll have a lot of saved in my downloads. Like, I'll have a lot of saved on my computer, and I'll just upload them randomly. Just these reviews, I want to keep it, like, at most 10 minutes. And I don't want it to just be a rambling thing. Just kind of get to the point, but then it's already been 2 minutes, so I'm not really getting to the point here. But I just wanted to say some stuff first. So 2 minutes in, let's get to the review. Amazing Spider-Man 2. Okay, first time I saw this film in the theaters, I loved it. Okay, the thing is, part of me, because being the Spider-Man fanboy that I am, kind of not seeing the flaws. But it was the first time I saw it, and I love the film. I was defending it throughout the year 2014. But then, bought the Blu-ray, you see. Watched the film a couple more times, special features, commentaries, all that stuff. And that came to a conclusion that this film is not as good as I remember. It's an okay movie. Then I watched it again. Wow, well, this is bad. This is bad. Then I watched it again. Oh God, this sucks. Okay, And plus, I bought this poster, I said before I even saw the film. So, how would I know if the film was good or not? Okay? And even if I bought this film after, or no, I mean, bought this poster after, I would still keep it because it's an awesome poster. Okay? Heck, I bought the Force Awakens poster before I seen it, and if that film ended up being shit, well, I would have kept it because it's like a cool poster. Okay, so I mean, Main Spider-Man 2. Its main problem is just there's too much stuff going on. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes. There's even like 20 deleted scenes that are like all 20, 30 minutes in total. So there's so if this film had a director's cut or like a definitive version, it would be close to 3 hours long. It would be like 2 hours and 40 minutes, 2 hours and 50 minutes. And, okay, so this film has a lot of it has Electro, Green Goblin, / Harry, Rhino's barely in it. You just a waste of Paul Giamatti. You got Gwen Stacy and her stuff. You got Spider-Man at the center. I mean, just so many things. Electro, I guess, is the main villain. But there's because this again, it's like, let's go to the things I like. Spider-Man. Okay, here's something. I think they improved the costume over here. Kind of, there's a better shot right there. The costume's a lot better in here than the first Amazing Spider-Man. And I didn't hate the first Amazing Spider-Man suit. I didn't mind that suit. I thought it was, okay. I thought it was an okay suit. But once again, whoops. Okay, so yeah, but they did improve the suit here. And I think Peter and Gwen's relationship still work, and Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone still work. Their chemistry and there's it's just so cool to see. Because one thing in the Tobey Maguire, aka Sam Raimi, in the Sam Raimi films, Kristen Dunst and Tobey Maguire. I couldn't buy their chemistry. Well, in Spider-Man 3, she's a total bitch. I mean, yeah, Peter's doing some... but it's like... I thought at the end of Spider-Man 2, they are finally getting together. They're not taking no bullshit. And they're going to be together and be a happy couple. But no, in this film, they're still fighting. Oh, Spider-Man gonna be famous, it's not about you, Peter, it's about me. I'm just like, oh my god. So that's one big plus that I think the main series has over the Tobey Maguire. And it's one of the best love stories in a comic book film. And comic book love stories aren't usually great. I mean, most of them are acceptable, but at least decent, okay. But this is actually something that stands out, probably the best part of the film. And that's what makes this film watchable. And at the end, of course, she dies. Spoilers. The film's been out for like 2 years. It's like, 2014. It's been 2016. 2 years. So I think it's okay to say she's dead. So don't freak out. I spoiled the movie and you haven't seen it in 2 years. Anyway, but Electro. Okay, Electro as Jamie Foxx. I think Max Dillon. He's like a nerd. He's just so. And then they even have like a cameo, I guess, of Alistair Smythe, who's in the '90s cartoon. A cool character too, kind of with Kingpin or whatever. Yeah, because he worked with the Kingpin in the '90s cartoon, and she kind of gives Max some shit. But yeah, Electro, his design is kind of cool. Because in the comics, it does kind of look kind of stupid. But again, it's a comic. It's from the '60s or whatever, so whatever. But okay, so the Green Goblin, okay. Dane DeHaan. I will actually say this. This might not be a popular thing to say or an opinion, but Dane DeHaan's as Harry Osborn, I like him more than James Franco as Harry Osborn. Just a tad bit better, okay? I still like James Franco, but I thought Dane DeHaan was a better Harry for the short amount of time we see him. He's just doing Goblin because he's like dying. He's like, okay, my dad said I got this disease that runs in the family. Here's the thing, okay, so his dad's like 60 or 50 and he's starting to develop the disease and he's starting to die. Okay, well, so Harry, you're gonna die when you're 60. So it's like it's not like you're gonna die right away. But then they carry the subplot that they dropped in the first Amazing Spider-Man film with Peter's parents, and that does, I guess, get a closure or an ending here, I guess. But yeah, so yeah, I mean that's kind of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 in a nutshell. I know this review is kind of all over the place. Well, that's the film too. It is all over the place. But yeah, I mean, but that's just how it is, I guess. It's all over the place. Anyway, I could go more in depth on this, definitely, but want to keep this short and sweet. I'm kind of mixed on the film, I'll say it. I'm mixed on the film. But yeah, that has been my quick review for the Amazing Spider-Man 2. I guess I have to give it a rating. I guess, sure, why not use, I guess I'll just give it a 5 out of 10 because it's in the middle point where I could take it or leave the film. It's not really, I guess there is a lot of stuff that is bad about it, but there's a lot of stuff I do like. But yeah, that's just a 5 out of 10 for me, I guess. So that has been my review of the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Tell me your thoughts down below. Then guys watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next review or video. Later. Bye.
Hello. Greetings from Parker Smuggle. Good friend of mine, Anthony. Thank you for letting me join this epic collaboration with me and you and Josh. This has been fun. This is the only thing I'm recording that's brand new. It's just my little thing. I hope you enjoyed my review off of Spider-Man 1. And what I'm doing tonight, this is a few months, I'll send him this and he'll add it to the video because I'm a lazy piece of shit and the lighting in here sucks dick. Anyway, yeah, the review's totally different. I got my hair cut months ago. This was out, again, it was recorded back in July or June of summer of 2016. And I don't got the hat on, the Spider-Man hat. Ugh. Anyway, still the same dude, still the same guy, just older, more of some hair right here. I don't know. Anyway, just anyway, hope you enjoyed my review for Spider-Man 1, and if Anthony will attach this to my Spider-Man 2 review and Spider-Man 3 and the main Spider-Man 1 and main Spider-Man 2, go ahead, Anthony, do what you want, man. Subscribe to Anthony. Wait, you are subscribed if you're watching this, right? Or if you just, I'm sure my link is down there, not down my dick, but down in the description. Subscribe. What am I? I'm an idiot. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the reviews from me. I hope you enjoyed me busting up Spider-Man 3. If you haven't seen that yet, wait for the Spider-Man 3 one. I'm gonna bust that fucker up. Go to my channel. Did tons of videos, tons of reviews, tons of Spider-Man shit, tons of podcasts. But if Anthony doesn't have the link to the Nerd Pet group, join down below. It's down there, the link to the Nerd Pet Facebook group where all the epic shit is. And Spider-Man Homecoming. You better be good. You got that? You better be good. Okay. Anyway, take care. May the Force be with you all. Live long and prosper. Yeah, this is the right sign to use. No, live long and prosper. Take care and subscribe to me. And we're the 3 Spider-Man dudes. Me, Josh, and Anthony. Yep, Spider-Man. Take care, guys. Later.
Thank you, Parker and Josh, for joining me once again in this final collaboration review. Cause this was fun, guys. This was a fun series of reviews. So it was fun collaborating with you guys. So we should do some more collaboration reviews one day down the road. But anyways, thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you liked my series of Spider-Man reviews. If you did it, don't care. Can't not wait for Homecoming. Already paid for my ticket. for the Thursday night showing at 7 o'clock. So yeah, I'm ready for Homecoming. So expect a review on Friday afternoon or evening or whatever I review the movie. I know it's going to be Friday, but anyway, thank you so much for watching, guys. Let me know what you think of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 in the comment section down below. And be honest, if you hate the movie, be honest why you hate it. Just leave it down in the comment section down below. And if you're new to my channel and you like this video, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.